my name is Melissa Strange and welcome to another episode for the Love of Drag. Today we're going to be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 2, episode number 8, also known as All-Star Supergroup or the finale. Now I am aware that I usually post these videos the day after that RuPaul's Drag Race comes out, but because I was really busy posting, you know, my Why Alaska Should Win video and my reaction to Alaska winning video and all of that stuff in life, I didn't have a chance to film and post this. So instead I kind of like went on and answered a lot of people's comments. So I'm actually not going to include one of your comments this week, only because I went through and commented on most of them, and if I haven't finished commenting on most of them from last week's episode, I'm still planning on doing that. So that's why I'm not going to include one this episode, but make sure you leave a comment down below about what you thought about the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race, because I will definitely include a comment in the next video when we review the reunion episode. So let's get started on this episode and what happened. It started off with the post-Alyssa elimination where Kochia reveals had she have won the lip sync, Roxy would be going home. Is this deja vu or what? Because Roxy should have already left. We all agree on that. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Roxy should not have been in the top 4. Alyssa should have been in the top 4. 99.9% of you will agree with me on that one. And the 0.1% that didn't watch RuPaul's Drag Race this entire season. So the queens discuss the Alaska tantrum that happened, and Alaska basically explains that in 2 seasons, this is the first time that she has ended up in the bottom. Her heart was racing, she didn't know what to do. Was it unprofessional? Yes. Is everybody attacking her for it? Of course they are. I did an entire video, which you can click right here to see, all about why I thought Alaska should win and whatnot, which includes a lot of reasons why, you know, like people are calling her snakes and she shouldn't be called a snake and all this. And so I'm not going to get into super detail about that, but my opinion on it is that she shouldn't have had the tantrum, but she did get over it. So Michelle Visage enters the workroom and announces a massively amazing, epic main challenge this week. The queens will have to form an all-star supergroup, write lyrics to RuPaul's new song, Read You, Wrote You, and by lyrics, I mean a rap. They will record their vocals with A.B. Soto. They're going to be doing choreo. They're going to be doing a guest appearance on RuPaul and Michelle Visage's podcast, What's the Tea? They're going to have to then perform it live on the main stage in front of the judges, and they're doing glamour on the runway. But I don't think they announced it then, but that's what the runway is. And I am so excited about this. I am like, oh my god, a rap. I know Detox is a rapper, so I'm like, get ready for Detox to slay. Kochia, I was a little concerned, but I'm like, at least it's a rap and not vocals, because I don't know how many of y'all have heard her song Ravioli, but like I was kind of a little concerned for Kochia, but she seemed to have pulled it through. Then you have Alaska, who has albums and she can rap. And then Roxy, I was like, I don't know. But girl, she ain't no Nicki Minaj, and she thinks she's Nicki Minaj. You know, confidence is everything, but girl, you ain't no Nicki Minaj. Then when it comes to doing their podcast appearances, which I am so looking forward to hearing this podcast, like when exactly is it coming out? Because they didn't say, and I really hope they actually give us the podcast, because I think that would be really cool to hear the whole thing, because I'm sure it's longer than 30 seconds. And so during the podcast, Alaska and Detox and probably Roxy were all questioned about Alaska talks, and Kochia was questioned about, you know, where she thinks she is in like the voices in her head and how she deals with that. So I really just want to hear the full thing, because like I can never get enough of it. Back in the workroom, Alaska Talks is having a bit of a discussion when Alaska suddenly realizes that this is literally season 5 repeat. It is Alaska Talks and a lovable weirdo. This time, instead of Jinx Monsoon winning, they're thinking Kochia's gonna win, and Alaska starts stressing out again, and Detox and Roxy have to kind of calm her down. Alaska cries because she's so stressed. I mean, she's been trying to win everything, and now she's seeing that it might not happen, and it might, once again, history might repeat itself, and Kochia might win instead of Jinx. And honestly, out of the 4 of them, I think that they all kind of knew it was either going to be Alaska or Kochia to win. At least from a viewer standpoint, we all kind of thought that, even though, like, if you watch, just, I'm not even gonna get into it, just watch why I thought Alaska should win, watch that video. I've linked it here. I'll even link it in the description down below. Anyways, they were clearly stressed, they started crying, and Roxy and Detox kind of talk her out of it. Detox in the confessional thing, though, does say, like, Alaska was a little selfish in thinking those ways. Ooh, and during the podcast, Roxy and Rue are talking about the edit, and Rue literally goes like, she basically calls out everyone who blames it on the edit and says, no bitch, you said it, don't blame it on the edit. That wasn't what she said exactly, but that's basically what she said. Detox, Alaska, and Kochia are discussing their scores and who's winning, and they're like, well, Alaska's won the most competitions, but Alaska says winning doesn't mean everybody likes me, and they're like, if Roxy wins, it's gonna be an uproar because it doesn't even make sense based on points. She's been in the bottom, but they're like, if she won, that would be insane. During the choreo, I'm already thinking Kochia probably has an upper hand in all this. Although she's not a dancer, she's a very gymnastically able, let's say, and so I already figured that they were going to use that. And like any lip sync where there's lots of flips and tricks, we all kind of like go crazy and love it even more because it's like insane to see somebody bend their body in these crazy ways, things that we, well, at least I can't do, maybe most of us can't do. So when, you know, you take all of that into account and think that Kochia can actually do that, it's like, well, Kochia could kill this. My battery's about to die. Damn it, let me change my battery. Yeah, so because Kochia can do all these tricks and stuff, I'm thinking she's gonna probably blow this competition out of the park. I'm like, oh shit. Alaska has never really done very good in choreo when it comes to RuPaul's Drag Race, but at the same time, I'm like, I've seen her music videos and she does choreo in them and it works. Now it's the final day and they are getting ready for the biggest Maxi challenge they are going to ever do, and they are all discussing why they think they should win and what they wish didn't happen or happened, and Alaska says that she wishes she wasn't so serious. Detox says she wants to win really bad. Kochia says she thinks she's way more improved than season 7, which totally, if anybody out of this entire season received the biggest redemption, I think it's Kochia, because in season 7 she was very, very in her head, second guessing everything, on the brink of a nervous breakdown. All Stars 2 probably was still on the brink of a nervous breakdown, but was able to handle it and cope and kill it. I think Kochia did amazing this whole season. And then when they ask each other what their favorite moments were this season, oh ho ho, Alaska got one mic dropped in there for Jinx when she says to Roxy, when you're in the bottom too. And that is what Roxy said to Jinx when this situation happened in season 5, and Jinx asked her what her favorite moment of the season was, and Roxy says when Jinx was in the final 2. And I'm like, oh, but then it gets even better because I think it was Detox goes, which time? Because we all know she's been in the bottom, what, 5 times this whole season? So I couldn't, it was one of my favorite reads this entire season. And then the performance happened, and oh my god, I went and bought that song on iTunes like that. Holy shit, it was so good. Each one of their choreographed parts was definitely like tailored to that queen individually. Oh, it was so good. The raps were good. Oh, I think, oh, they all did really well. Like Roxy was maybe the lowest out of who did the best rap. She probably would come in last, but oh my god, I can't. There's something great about Alaska's, Detox's, and Kochia's, and none of them are my favorite. Literally, they were all amazing, and I have watched that performance way too many times since it came out, and I've listened to that song too many times that I know 90% of the words of that song. It's so good, and you should buy it on iTunes or wherever you buy your music. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And the performance, oh my god, it was one of the best performances in RuPaul's Drag Race history. It was so good. So good. So good. So good. So good. Literally, I can't. It was the best competition, best Maxi challenge ever, for me at least, in the series that is RuPaul's Drag Race. Oh, it was so good. Oh, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it, because it was, oh, it happened like almost a week ago and I'm still like, I can't get over it. And when it's time for the final critiques, I felt like there was a lot more attention put on Alaska than the other queens. At least we saw more, like they talked more about her. They were like, we liked when you did this and when you did this and when you did this and when you did this. And like they kind of did that for each of the queens, but I felt like they really went in and showed us a lot more about Alaska. And I kind of thought that was a little bit weird that we had so much attention paid on her. And especially because also when the queens leave and they still continue to discuss the queens, it's a lot of Alaska. It was like Alaska, Kochia, Detox, Roxy. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how much of the section they talked about each queen. It was a lot of Alaska, then some Kochia, then a little bit less Detox, and then Roxy, and that kind of gave you the placement of probably what was gonna happen anyways. And Ru gets emotional, I think for the first time this season. I can't remember if Ru got emotional at all during the entire season except for this moment when she says that no matter who wins, she's proud that these four are carrying on the legacy that is RuPaul, what Ru has created. And that was a nice moment. Oh, and Ru asked them all why they think they should win, and Alaska's answer was really good. As a fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, she literally went to season 1 and worked her way forward about things that she loves about RuPaul's Drag Race and why she should win, because she's a super fan, and so she's crazy and she just wants to win and deserves to win. And I liked her answer. Detox points out that she killed the runway, which I totally agree with. Detox had the best runway this entire season, hands down, house down boots. And then in Kochia's speech, when Kochia says that the thing in Russian, and then when Ru asks her what that means, she says, I have a carburetor running I have to work on. Actually, I went online to find out what exactly she said, and thanks to the people on Reddit, I found out that what Kochia actually said was, I'm a star forever, thank you so much. And like, that's really nice. And Kochia got choked up while she was talking about it because she's clearly so proud of herself and what she's been able to do this season, and all of RuPaul's Drag Race fans are definitely super proud of Kochia and how she acted this season and what she was able to do. Personally, I definitely am. And Roxy was able to prove that she isn't a bitch and that she deserves her place, maybe not Final Four, but she deserved her place in All Stars 2, and she definitely proved to us that she's not an evil human and that she's great. So yeah, then the judges deliberate. Like I said, they talked a lot more about Alaska than anybody else during the deliberation. So I was kind of like, or maybe I just heard it more than anybody else. I don't know, it was weird. And then Ru brings the Final Four out on stage and sends Roxy home. Finally, someone was able to send Roxy home. What does that mean? That's the 6th time she was technically in the bottom this season out of 8 episodes? Oopsie daisy, but Roxy's still amazing. She just maybe shouldn't have been there this whole time, because had she have gone home earlier, we wouldn't all be like, wow, Roxy was in the bottom the whole time. No, it would have been like, Roxy went home early. So, what you gonna do? But then I was confused about what they did, because they had Alaska, Kochia, and Detox do a ballad as the last song? What? Now I might be feeling a little spoiled, because I really have been enjoying the past like season 7 and season 8 finale when they had the final 3 do like a personalized song, lip sync choreographed number. It's been amazing. And so maybe I'm a little spoiled. I wasn't expecting them to do that, obviously. And I mean, the Maxi challenge was amazing. But how can you do a ballad as the last song? It just brought the episode, like the episode was like, oh my gosh, it's all the way up here. Like this is the craziest Maxi challenge. And then you brought it down low. And I'm like, you know what? Detox is like facial, like you could see the emotion Detox was able to do. Alaska, you can see she was feeling this song. Kochia was kind of feeling the song. But it was like, come on, that's what you're gonna give us as the final 3 song? I knew, and I kind of understand why they didn't do a RuPaul song as the final lip sync, which they usually do a Ru song, and they weren't gonna do them because the Maxi challenge was RuPaul's new song. But I mean, RuPaul had like, what, 5 words in that whole song, or 10 words out of that song? They could have done a RuPaul song as the finale, or they could have done a more upbeat song. Just doing a ballad seemed really, really, really weird to me. But in the end, it didn't even matter because Alaska won, and I was so freaking excited that literally the ballad didn't even matter anymore. My Queen Alaska won. I'm so happy. But now I have some questions. Do you think, like, so they usually film all of them, or they have since after the season that Raja won, so I guess starting season 4, they film all of the queens winning. Just that way there can be no spoilers, so we don't know who actually wins until they show it. But then, it's kind of clear that the queens already knew who won before the finale was shown, for a few reasons. One, so right after they were shown, Logo TV posts online like our next episode or whatever, so the reunion, which isn't this week, it's next week, but it has already been filmed. So if the reunion was already filmed, then they all know that Alaska already won. So do they announce it at the reunion that Alaska won? Or did Alaska find out before? And then also right after Raja does the pit stop, which is her recap show of the episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race that is done on Logo TV, and Raja has Alaska as a guest and says Alaska won. And Alaska like kind of seemed awkward about it. So did they all film a recap at the end? Did they all film the pit stop and then we were just showing it? Because then I also saw Alaska watching her win, and her reaction wasn't of somebody who just found out they won RuPaul's Drag Race. Bob the Drag Queen's reaction last year that we saw, earlier this year of her winning, now that's a reaction you would see of somebody who didn't know yet. So are we gonna see in the reunion Alaska finding out that she's the winner and then they go on from there? Do they already know before they go to the reunion? Because I'm really confused. I think the reunion was filmed like the same week or a week before the final episode was aired, if I did my math correctly. I might actually be wrong. It might have even been earlier than that, but I'm really confused because when did they find out who won? Because they didn't find out the night it was aired. They found out prior to that. So where's that? I'm kind of confused. If anybody has any information on this, let me know in the comments down below. There's no way they found out the night that episode was filmed like a year ago, right? They must have filmed alternate endings of each one of them winning or a group of them winning. They probably filmed Alaska and Kochia winning together to make the fans happy or whatever. But let me know, because I'm really interested, intrigued, concerned about all of that. Found that a little weird. So let me know what you thought about that in the comments down below. And yeah, if you want to see me actually reacting to watching Alaska crown the winner, I have linked to that right here as well as in the description down below. You can check that out there. Oh, I was so happy though, I'll tell you that much. Oh, and today I'm wearing my Bob the Drag Queen shirt because I recently bought this at the show that I recently went to for the Shady Queens, which had Bob the Drag Queen, Willem, Alaska, and Courtney Act there, and you can actually watch clips of that and me reacting to that show right here, and I hope you all enjoy that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, because next week we're going to be talking about the reunion and all of that, and I might have some fancy little drag race related videos up my sleeve, my short sleeves, coming up very soon, so make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss those when I post those. Once again, everyone, my name's Melissa Strange, and until next time, stay strange.